fly through the air like birds during a skydive. But look, that guy's cell phone is about to fall out of his pocket at 12,000 feet. And there it goes, off into the wild blue yonder. Where it'll land is anyone's guess. 27-year-old Frank Carbolito returned to Earth, never realizing his phone was gone.
I had to go back through the camera and probably go back and forth trying to find that exact second where it fell out of my pocket.
Then he'd use the Find My Device feature to locate his phone's exact coordinates in Zephyr Hills, Florida. The following day, with his mom's phone in hand, he hops on his bike, following a path through the woods.
I'm really close to it, so I'm gonna give it a call.
And bingo, his Samsung Galaxy is right there.
And I was surprised that it was intact. Like there's just nothing wrong with it. And it still had 65% battery. Still working. Yeah, everything works perfectly fine.
You might call in an order for wings by phone instead of using delivery apps, but never should you call 911 for some. This was a real call to Atlanta police.
I'm on the street. I was just wondering if somebody could order me some hot wings.
Hey, that's not what 911 does.
Okay. You have a good day.
You too.
My name is Chris Lockhart. I like to explore and photograph abandoned places around the world. Out in the middle of the Kazakhstan desert is the Baikonur Cosmodrome, and that's where the space shuttles are located. The site is patrolled by armed military. They're part of the Russian Space Force, Aerospace Force. They were watching. There were reports of other explorers being caught while doing the hike back. We arrived, got through all that debris field, climbed over a couple fences, and then we went around the building and ensured nobody was there. We crawled through a window on the main floor. Got a little lost in the offices, but eventually made it into the open area where the space shuttles are sitting. There are no words in any language to describe it. That's what I tell people. It's just awe, shock. These ships look small in some of the photos and even in my photos from certain perspectives, but up close, it's a full-size space shuttle. Just the sheer size of them is overwhelming and just too much sensory input in a sense.
This man made his commute to work electrifying. He says he laced up these sneakers with attached spark plates, attached a lawn chair to his electric skateboard, and rode through the streets of San Jose, California. Why? Well, why not?
This squirrel is fluffy and cute, but it's also a porch pirate. This homeowner leaves Kit Kats for mail carriers every day, and on this day, the squirrel intercepted the sweet gesture.
Me? 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 I'm nothing.
13-year-old Samaria Glenn from West Palm Beach wanted to be an actress. She loved performing. One day after school, she told her mom, Dima, she had a headache. Dima suggested she lie down. Samaria's condition deteriorated rapidly, and before long, the young teen, who had been so full of life, was dead. In the wake of this unthinkable tragedy, Samaria's mother made an important decision. Samaria would donate her organs. Less than 24 hours after Samaria died, her kidney was given to her own father.
I mean, I try to look at it from a positive standpoint, but it's always going to be like very bittersweet, you know, because people at the hospital, people around, they say, congratulations, you got a kidney, but the cost.
We just found it.
This mom is giving chase, and the car she's pursuing...
Pull over now!
It's being driven by her own son. 14-year-old Aaron Martinez is being called a modern-day Ferris Bueller after he hatched a plot to sneak out of his home in El Paso, Texas. How'd he do it? He turned off the Wi-Fi. Lisa Martinez was at work, unaware that her son was heading out on a joyride until she was tipped off by another mom. Lisa sped home and picked up her daughter, who recorded the whole drama and posted it on social media.
It just kept going and it was getting funnier.
They tracked down Aaron with his buddy in the passenger seat.
Pull over now!
She proceeded to discipline him right there on the side of the road. Aaron says he realizes he made a big mistake.
I deserved it. It was a bad choice. And I just can't do it again.
Pull over now!
This father and son are kicking back on the new piece of land they just bought in South Florida. And we mean piece of land. Kerville Holness and his son Kerville Jr. thought they got the deal of a lifetime, paying $9,100 in an online auction for a home valued at $177,000. They didn't buy this 3-foot wide patch of green. They bought this, a strip less than an inch in width. It runs right through the house all the way to the back. They feel duped because they say the real estate auction showed the villa, not the strip of land. The county claims the father and son didn't read the fine print carefully. They say it clearly shows the land value being $50 with a building value of $0.
This is from the county, right? Mm-hmm. All right. They're trying to say that this red strip right here is what was shown.
Wasn't
and
shown.
That you should have known.
Wasn't shown.
This could happen to anybody. It really could have.
TikTok star Ali Abulaban learned his fate in a San Diego courtroom more than 2 years after being accused of killing his wife and another man.
We, the jury in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Ali Nasser Abulaban, guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree.
Some in the courtroom expressed their support for the verdict. Abulaban was accused of killing his wife Anna and her friend Rayburn Barron in October 2021. The district attorney reportedly said Abulaban thought his wife was cheating and was abusive toward her during the marriage. The couple had a daughter together. Abulaban was known as Gin Kid on TikTok and gained close to 1 million followers for his short comedy sketches. Now he reportedly faces the rest of his life in prison when he's sentenced on June 28th.
This pit bull isn't the mom to 1-year-old Cruz, but she sure acts like it, caressing the baby as the two nap together at home. Cruz's dad, Jared, who breeds American bully dogs, a type of pit bull, believes that his 2 sons are safe around the pups and dogs. After facing some criticism on Instagram after sharing videos of his children being cozy with the pups, he says that his dogs are harmless and would never be aggressive towards his little ones. The family says their mastiff pit bull and American bulldog mixes are sweet and gentle canines. They share many adorable videos to shatter the negative pit bull stereotypes which exist and want others to see how lovable they are. This family loves their pooches so much they even pamper them with massages and constant love and affection.
After his uncle does an impressive flip, a toddler tries to follow suit. Yay! Nailed it. More terrifying scenes are coming out of storm-ravaged Iowa. In this traffic camera footage, a tornado throws a semi-truck on its side like a toy.
Look at that.
Severe storms swept through much of Iowa this week. Several tornadoes were spotted, and winds were so powerful they destroyed wind turbines. The smoking remains of the turbines could be seen miles away. Why is that basket moving? Is it a ghost? Is it remote controlled? Nope. It's a cat, of course.
You've never seen contraband like this. 20 bags of Cheetos of the Flamin' Hot variety. The expensive Louis Vuitton carry-on bag was completely packed with nothing but Cheetos. So what was going on? TSA agents assigned to Los Angeles International Airport wanted to know. They even gave the snacks a swab test. The passenger turned out to be a social media influencer, Emily May. And here she is.
You show up, they start pulling these out, and they're going, what the heck is this?
Yeah, no, like literally everybody from TSA came over and they were all like laughing and they were like, what is going on? I was actually traveling to Korea, and from what I heard from my friends, it's extremely hard to get in Korea, and when you can get it, it's like $15 for a bag this size.
No.
Yeah.
A rep for Cheetos says the thought that someone would take the time to bring bags of Flamin' Hot Cheetos to a friend halfway around the world made us smile.
Parker 911, location of your emergency.
A woman calls 911 for getting the wrong pizza sent to her. Delivered was half cheese, half hamburger. It was supposed to be half cheese, half bacon. Whoops.
I just have a question. If I order a pizza and they don't want to give it my money back, can you guys do something?
The police dispatcher in Hartford, Connecticut calmly told the caller her question wasn't an emergency.
That's not something you would dial 911 for.
So you cannot even call them or something?
No, we can't call the pizza shop.
Police explained the woman who still ate part of the pie initially called the pizza place to complain, but wasn't satisfied with their response. The caller, whose name was not released, was given a verbal warning by police. Next time, she shouldn't devour the evidence.
This mom is adjusting to her new normal after losing her hands and legs because of all things a dog lick. Marie Traynor woke up from a 10-day coma to find her limbs had been amputated. The life-changing tragedy had its origins during a vacation in the Caribbean with her husband. Marie says she was using her key card to access her hotel when she accidentally nicked herself on her wrist. It was a tiny little scratch, a silly accident. It hardly hurt. When Marie came home, her dog Taylor greeted her with lots of kisses. But the dog also licked Marie's scratch. 4 days later, Marie got very sick and was rushed to the hospital with a severe infection and septic shock. It turns out that her dog's saliva carried a bacteria called Capnocytophaga. It's quite common in dogs, but what happened to Marie is a very rare occurrence.
It is a 1 in over a million. I mean, the chance is so rare. You would never think that a dog lick would cause someone to lose their hands and leg.
Kendra Muller was relaxing in a hammock attached to 2 brick pillars, which were used to hold up a deck. Suddenly, disaster.
When I woke up, I thought that the bricks were limiting my movement, but it turned out that I was paralyzed, and that's why I couldn't stand up.
Kendra is now a quadriplegic. She has no movement from the chest down. In the blink of an eye, a life changed forever. She had to learn to eat, speak, and breathe.
I never thought that a hammock would be any danger.
Powerful stories. Impactful investigations.
How many times has your car been stolen?
5 times.
Yeah.
What? And a little bit of fun.
There's bears in the pool!
On Inside Edition streaming.
This airline passenger says she fell asleep during a flight and woke up in a cold, locked-up plane.
It was completely pitch black. I thought, this is a nightmare. This is not happening.
Tiffany O'Brien says she was full-on panicking on the plane, which was parked far from the terminals. When she realized she was trapped on board, she texted a friend. "I just woke up alone in plane. OMG."
And then my phone died.
Tiffany says there was no power on the empty plane, so she couldn't charge her phone. She fumbled around in the pitch dark and made her way to the front of the aircraft and actually entered the cockpit.
I'm so scared that I'm going to touch something that's wrong, and I found the flashlight, and I was so happy. That was like the best moment ever.
Tiffany says she got the cabin door open and used the flashlight to signal a baggage handler on the tarmac. Now the incident is raising serious security concerns.
Just lockjaw.
It's literally a case of lockjaw. This young woman cannot close her mouth. It's difficult to understand what she's saying. Jenna Sinatra shares her exciting life on social media, but in this video clip, she's heading to the ER.
How did it happen? Jenna says she yawned and she suddenly found herself with her jaw locked in place. So literally it felt like you just could not close.
Yeah, it just would not shut. Like I tried going this way, tried going that way, tried massaging it, nothing worked.
She was driven to a local emergency room in Manahawkin, New Jersey.
So they gave me muscle relaxers and it helped, I guess, like relax my jaw. And then 4 of them shoved my jaw back together.
You heard right. It took 4 medical personnel to put her jaw back in place.
And then they wrapped your head up so that it stayed shut?
Yes.
The cicada emergence is here, and Josh Wicker says we shouldn't fear them. Instead, we should eat them.
Today we're eating cicadas, and we have trash cans just in case.
We went with the hors d'oeuvres because we wanted something you could just put in your mouth, one bite, because I wasn't wanting people to gag and throw up, on the video.
His friends had mixed reactions to their meal.
Cheers. All right, here we go. Oh boy. It was definitely a little more buggy there.
Yeah, I think I have a leg stuck in the back of my throat.
I enjoyed quite a bit. Depending on what you had it in, it masked the flavor of the actual cicada quite a bit. Almost like a really light, subtle peanut butter flavor to me, like a nutty kind of a flavor. Nature's a beautiful thing to observe, but when you can experience it, it's just that much cooler.
This devil dog named Frankie is a snarling terror. The bull terrier is overly possessive and has bitten her owner, Adrian Fregados, more than 20 times. Now, help is on the way. Inside Edition set up an intervention with professional dog trainer Nate Schomer. The trainer's first move, build trust.
I want her to know right from the start that I'm here on her team.
3 weeks later,
Come on, Frankie. Good girl.
Frankie is doing better.
Frankie, sit. Yes. Excellent. Good girl. We do what's called continual reinforcement. I reward every single behavior. So it's sit, yes, reward. Down, yes, reward.
A month after dropping off her dog,
Hi, how's my girl?
Adrian reunites with Frankie. The dog showers her with licks and tail wags.
Good girl.
She's doing so good.
It's a new obedient Frankie.
Yes.
Yes.
We can't cuff him, but...
A 5-foot alligator was taken into custody by Florida's Jacksonville Sheriff's Department.
Oh, hey, buddy.
The gator was reported as an unwelcome house guest in the home of a 104-year-old woman.
You're under arrest. You gotta leave their grandmas alone. I'm gonna take you downtown.
Deputies say the alligator was moved to a more appropriate location and released.
Duck! A young boy takes cover as a barrage of bullets fly into the living room. 9-year-old Errol was playing with his French bulldogs when gunshots rang out. His mom, Mary Jane Gonzalez, was in the bedroom. Did you realize how close they came to hitting your son? If he had been standing up, he could have been hit.
My heart dropped.
As Errol ducked for cover inside, this was the scene outside the apartment complex in Fort Worth, Texas. More than a dozen children flee and hit the dirt as the gunshots ring out.
I felt terrified about what happened to those children.
Errol ran to his parents' bedroom, crouching the entire way. Today, the 4th grader is happy to be alive, but haunted by his close brush with death.
An alligator comes out of nowhere, hungry for lunch. This young teenager wasn't prepared to give up his catch. He had set up his phone to record the accomplishment.
I saw that video. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
15-year-old Gavin from Estero, Florida, has been fishing for years. Only one other time has something like this happened on the hunt.
I caught the fish, and I look over, and the gator's right there. Pops up out of nowhere, and comes up, runs up on land, steals the fish, runs back in the water. Yeah, and then he's gone.
Were you scared?
I mean, I knew he wanted the fish more than me. I mean, I when he ran up, I backed up just because he was coming up quick, but I wasn't really that scared. I knew he really wanted the fish for a meal.
Well, there goes the fish he was so proud of reeling in, and the hook it was on. Never leave cash in the car. Watch as a man in a black t-shirt gets out of the white car. He then is seen on camera breaking open the passenger window of the Tesla parked in the next spot. At a gas station in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. One by one, he picks up the boxes from the back seat and then carries them back to his car, handing them off to a female passenger. He then takes off. Inside one of the boxes, police say, was nearly $200,000 in cash. Investigators say the driver of the Tesla was servicing a machine inside the gas station. Now they're looking into whether it was a targeted operation. The suspect, Christopher Plytis, was identified and later arrested. He now faces charges of theft.
Amanda Nguyen is an activist, a Nobel Peace Prize nominee, and will be the first woman of Vietnamese heritage to go into space. Her activism started after an act of violence.
I was raped on campus in 2013, my last semester of Harvard. The worst thing that happened to me wasn't being raped. It was being betrayed by America's criminal justice system.
She founded the organization RISE to pen legislation to help survivors. The Sexual Assault Survivors Bill of Rights passed unanimously through the U.S. Congress and the United Nations.
My justice is making sure that no one has to go through what I had to go through.
The dreams of going into space that were put on hold after the attack will come true on an upcoming Blue Origin flight.
For all little Vietnamese girls, Southeast Asian girls, or anyone who sees me in them, I want you to know that you can honor all parts of you, both your pain, the justice you seek, and also your dreams.
When we first met these two minor league pitchers, we were amazed by their similarities. They even share the same name, Brady Feigl.
Outside of my family, I didn't think there were any Feigls. Are we twins? We're about to find out.
We arranged for a DNA test.
Time to find out if we're related or not.
Now it's time to come together for the results. At first, they were stunned.
It says I'm 53% Germanic Europe.
Stop.
Are
No.
you?
No.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, mine's 53.
If they were actually identical twins, all the rest of their numbers would match exactly.
What about Ireland and Scotland? That goes with the red hair, huh?
I got 2%.
I got 10.
Our Brady Feigls find that they're not brothers or even related. So what we seem to have is a very bizarre coincidence of two total strangers who look alike and happen to share the same name and occupation. What are the odds?
Time to get that grill fired up and start flipping those burgers. But make sure you're not garnishing your food with something that could be very dangerous. We're talking about these wire grill brushes.
Everybody leaves these outside. They rust and these bristles fall out.
Those sharp bristles can end up in your food. Here's one stuck to a grill.
I feel like a really bad pinch on my throat.
This Seattle woman ended up swallowing a bristle.
My pain was just horrible.
This is the x-ray showing the bristle lodged in her throat. She had surgery to remove it. Chef Shane McBride, co-owner of the restaurant Pig Beach, shared some cleaning options other than wire brushes.
You literally just put a fork into an onion.
Yep.
And just rub it right on.
Lemon's got a little acid in there, so you're gonna get a little sanitation action while you're doing it.
There's also the tried and true dish towel. Just put some oil on it.
Is it okay if there's still a little bit left on there?
Yeah, sure. Anything on there is gonna continue to cook and just burn off.
You've heard of wedding crashers, but a snake crashing a wedding? That's a new one. And so's this. The sister of the bride turned into an emergency snake wrangler.
Why isn't that girl scared of anything?
And here's Erica Rodriguez. It was her sister's wedding. It happened in Florence, Arizona. And look, the snake is as long as she is. Erica was fearless, zero hesitation. She just swoops the slithering creature right up. A parade of guests followed along with their cell phones as Erica removed the snake from the wedding venue. And where did she learn how to deal with snakes?
Yep. I just grew up watching Steve Irwin and my role model.
Even as you were holding his tail, I could see that he was reaching up, trying to bite you.
Yeah, he was saying hello. He's like, hello, can you put me down, please?
Why isn't that girl scared of anything?
It was a frightening scene on a beach in Mexico as a tourist came face to face with a bull. Before she could get away, the animal attacked the woman. Someone threw a bucket of water on the creature to scare it off, and the woman walked away.
In the middle of the afternoon, thieves target this jewelry store in Westport, Connecticut. They're using hammers to smash open the glass and wearing hoodies over their heads. Police are now looking for whoever was involved.
Home surveillance cameras in Europe caught quite the show as a comet made an appearance, lighting up the whole sky. The European Space Agency shared this video of a stunning meteor caught by its fireball camera over the city of Cáceres, Spain, near the border with Portugal. The agency later clarified that it was a small piece of comet that flew over the countries at 28 miles per second before eventually evaporating over the Atlantic Ocean.
Body cam footage shows an Indiana police officer responding to a robbery in progress, gun drawn. There's a perp in a face mask. There's one problem. It wasn't a real crime. They were shooting a movie. And nobody told the police. The officer fires a round before the actor drops to the ground.
Get down on the ground.
Fortunately, nobody was hurt. In a statement on Facebook, the production company making the movie thanked the police, quote, for their hasty response to what they thought was a crime being committed. Had it been a real robbery, the police were quick to the scene, and the situation would have been diffused promptly. What began as a fake crime very nearly became a real tragedy.
Drop the gun now! Drop the gun! We're doing a movie!
Hi, sweetheart. You okay? Come here. Come here.
An Albuquerque police officer found an abducted 3-year-old girl sitting alone in a parking lot in the cold.
You're okay. She's okay. She's okay. She's getting warm. You're okay, baby.
Caroline Leon Alcacar was inside the car when it was stolen. The mom was running an errand inside a store. Officer Chris Pasho found her and quickly brought her inside his cruiser to warm up. She was reunited with her parents in a video captured from his lapel.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good. You said warmer his ear. Are you okay, sweetie?
Hi, baby girl.
The officer said she was motionless, very cold, and scared. It was an emotional day for everyone, including the officer, who is a dad of 3.
I'll be honest, on my way home, I started crying too. I was just very happy and thankful that we were able to find her.
What is Inside Edition? It's this. And this. And this. And also this. It's sometimes this. It's never this. But it always brings you more to the story. And now it's always available. Inside Edition.
It was a daring rescue that had everyone holding their breath. 2 children were dropped from the window of an apartment building to save them from a fire. People on the ground gathered to catch them. The incident happened in Grenoble, France. The 2 children were 3 and 10 years old. Reports say the children were taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation, but are doing well. They were unharmed by the fall from the window, but 2 people who helped catch them were injured. Those Good Samaritans are suspected to have fractured forearms and were also taken to the hospital. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. But these children were able to make it out safely thanks to a community that pulled together.
Tears of joy and disbelief as this family in China was reunited after more than 2 decades. In 1997, their 2-year-old son was playing outside their home in Shandong province when he was abducted by an unknown woman. An official investigation for the child proved fruitless, but the boy's parents did not give up. His father, Guo Gantang, started his own research, and for 24 years, he traversed China on motorcycle, handing out flyers, following leads, and putting more than 300,000 miles on his odometer. And now, his search is over. Police in Henan province recently located a man matching the description of the son. A DNA test confirmed his identity. And finally, the son, now a 26-year-old teacher, was reunited with his true parents.
It's the terrifying moment a family experiences an earthquake. Dad grabs his little girl and runs out the front door, barefoot, wearing only shorts and a t-shirt in the snow. Mom quickly joins them for an embrace. Tony Skillia and his wife Jennifer were relaxing at home in Alaska with their 4-year-old daughter Sophia when that 7.0 earthquake hit.
The house is still shaking while we're outside, and you can see the houses from outside like swaying left and right. It was pretty intense.
The drama was all caught on their home security cameras. Check out the decorations flying off the walls and shelves inside their home. And here's what it looked like inside another house. The family pets got totally freaked out. The dogs seem bewildered, and the cats start racing around. They don't know what's happening or where to run and hide as objects fall all around them.
Lexi, come!
This poor dog got a new set of rain boots.
Come on, buddy. Come!
Is that what you call new boot goofin'?
Say hey, Mom. Say hello. Hello. Here's Mom. Say hello.
When this dog misses his human who's at work, he relies on his other human to help get her attention.
Gus Gus. Gussie. Hello. Hi, baby boy. Hi, Gus Gus. Hi, baby. How are you, Gussie?
Mission complete.
Gussie, be nice to Dad. Hi, Gus. Hi, baby boy. Hi, Gussie. Bye-bye, Gus.
A mom got to see her daughter graduate high school just in the nick of time. Patty Parrott was suffering from breast cancer and an autoimmune disease. She wasn't going to be able to make it to her daughter Samantha's graduation ceremony. But teachers made it possible for Samantha to get her diploma 2 weeks early at the hospital where her mother was being cared for. School faculty presented Samantha with her diploma during an emotional ceremony as her mom and family looked on. Samantha says just after the service concluded, Patty fell unconscious and didn't wake up. 2 days later, she passed. Samantha says her mother's journey has inspired her to help people, which is why she's going to study nursing at a community college in the fall.
It's an elk with a tire stuck around its neck for 2 years. The magnificent beast was recorded on trail cameras in Colorado. Tourists have also been on the lookout as word got around about the elk's misery. The unusual sight was first noticed in the summer of 2019 when wildlife officials took this photo.
During the breeding season, their necks swell up and they get much thicker. And our worry was that animal would fill up the entire center of that tire and potentially restrict blood flow or air or ability to grow because that tire was around its neck.
They finally caught up with the animal and shot it with a tranquilizer dart to remove the tire, which was rimmed with metal. They had to unfortunately cut off the antlers.
This elk will be doing just fine. He's going to grow a brand new set of antlers in the spring.
At last, he's free of that tire.
It's the video the whole country is talking about. A guy battling to save his puppy from the jaws of an alligator. You can see him trying to pry the gator's mouth open with his bare hands as the dog yelps. And check out his cigar, clenched ever so tightly in his mouth. Richard Wilbanks was walking his puppy named Gunner outside Fort Myers, Florida, when out of nowhere, the gator came out of the pond and attacked. The 74-year-old retiree didn't hesitate to jump into the pond to save his puppy.
I didn't have time to think, which was probably a good thing.
So, did Gunner make it? You bet he did. Look at him scamper away.
He's a pretty cute thing, isn't he?
And here's the 3-month-old Cavalier King Charles Spaniel today.
He came home, he was a little timid the first 2 or 3 days home, but he's been fine ever since.
A flying car. It feels like we've been waiting forever to be able to go from the freeway to the skies. Slovakian company Klein Vision has been working on their air car to fulfill that desire. The company says the air car has completed over 520 takeoffs and logged more than 130 flight hours. That track record made the company feel confident enough to bring up a passenger, Jean-Michel Jarre. Jarre is a legendary French composer, best known for being a pioneer in the field of dance and electronic music. The air car looks like a sports car with the wings of a small airplane. It flies at speeds of up to 120 miles per hour and can soar to altitudes up to 8,000 feet high. But let's be real, will we see an air car over our neighborhoods anytime soon? Probably not. Klein Vision has declined to give any details on a launch date.
He swings and oof. Time for a new golf club.
Oh my, oh my.
This grandma is in tears. On the phone is a scammer telling her that her grandson is under arrest for causing a car crash.
Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do, lady?
The 92-year-old is told to pay up or her grandson goes to jail. But it turns out those are crocodile tears. Granny's turning the tables on the scammers. In another video, she keeps the would-be cheat on the phone so long, he gives up.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you wasted all this time.
You are wasting my time.
Why would I do that?
The scammer is so fed up, he hangs up on her. And here she tells yet another scammer she can't buy his fake life insurance policy because the end of time is coming.
I think I'm going to get raptured, you know? So I don't need all that stuff. Are you ready? Are you ready to go?
A little girl is missing on a beach. A sheriff's deputy is desperately trying to find her. Suddenly,
I think that might be her.
as the deputy pulls up, the 8-year-old gives him a little wave. What a relief.
Are you okay? Yeah. All right. You all right? Need a hug? Yeah. All right. It's going to be okay. Let's go get you to mom, all right?
It turns out that her mom took a photo of Josie as a precaution just after they got to the beach. This is the photo of Josie that her mom turned over to police when the little girl was reported missing. It made identifying her and the bathing suit she was wearing so much easier. Josie told me how she got separated from her family.
I was swimming, but then the water was pulling me that way. I didn't even notice.
Well, a photograph is a huge plus for us, especially the day of.
Deputy Moore drove Josie back for a reunion with Mom.
It's lunchtime at the zoo, and this dude volunteered to feed the ostriches today. Look at those noggins swaying back and forth. They sure smell something delicious. It's time to dig in.
After 6 years in the shadows, a rare panda has been caught on camera in China. The slow stroll of what appears to be a mother and baby panda was seen on surveillance video in the Chongqing National Nature Reserve. Rather than the cuddly-looking black and white pandas most people are used to, these pandas are dark brown and light brown. This rare breed, called the Qinling giant panda, was just recognized in 2005 after being photographed for the first time in 1985. According to the Journal of Mammalogy, the brown pandas are also slightly smaller than their black and white cousins and have less fur. Just the sight of this pair has animal experts excited. The camera-shy Qinling giant panda hasn't been seen in this area since 2018. So far, they've only been found in the Qinling Mountains, living at high altitudes over 4,000 feet. Estimates say there are anywhere from 200 to 300 brown pandas in the wild. Powerful stories, impactful investigations.
How many times has your car been stolen?
5 times. Yeah.
What?
And a little bit of fun.
Your spear's in the pool!
On Inside Edition streaming.
Okay, we're freaking out.
A child was freaking out in Idaho as an army of tumbleweeds was headed his way.
Come in, right now.
Mom says come inside, which seems like good advice.
It's a heartbreaking image. A sweet little girl born with a huge disfiguring tumor covering the left side of her face. Joe and Jennifer McGillis live in Montana, but their search for the best doctor who could help their little girl Sloan led them to New York City.
Hi, young lady.
And vascular surgeon Milton Weiner. Sloan was diagnosed with a hemangioma. The sheer size of the non-cancerous tumor was already affecting her facial nerves and muscles.
So I'm going to remove all of the tumor. My intention is to realign the face.
But Sloan's tumor is so big, it will take multiple surgeries. For more than a year, we followed the progress of baby Sloan. We were there when she had her second surgery at age 14 months. What a transformation. Here's Sloan at 10 months, Sloan at 14 months, Sloan now at age 2. A brave little girl inspiring everyone in a big way.
A man is under arrest after cops say he smashed this window behind a child in an ice cream shop. The San Jose police in California say large shards of glass fell on the child, who left the shop with his guardian right after the incident. Cops say they have located the suspect and charged him with assault with a deadly weapon and child abuse.
Mike Wolo from Massachusetts is lucky to be alive after a 10,000-pound slab of granite fell on his face.
And it came down and hit my left temple and crushed my face and head against the other bundle of stone on the other side of the container. They said they could see inside my skull. Everybody's just screaming and crying and assume I'm dead. All three of them taking turns holding my head back together because everything's just wide open. They said blood was just pouring out. That's when I felt the pain. Even though I know, now that I was on a morphine drip and whatnot, my whole body was swelled up. My hands, my feet, everything. My head was the size of a beach ball. My oldest brother, John, had asked, well, what's the chance of him living? And they gave me a 2%.
When a surprise dust devil popped up, 2 people ran for their lives. And one guy ran to save his beer. It happened in Wales. Hotel surveillance video caught the brief weather event. The funnel chased after 2 people who quickly took cover inside. But one man seemed to run right toward it. Turns out he left his beer on an outside table. He must have been relieved his beverage wasn't gone with the wind.
A man jumps off a cliff and the parachute kicks into gear, but the helmet? Whoops, that fell off, along with the GoPro attached. Somehow it managed to land and still capture the leap. Incredible placement right there.
It broke me, to be totally honest. Like, that's information that no mother ever wanted to hear.
Heidi Sali from Lewiston, Maine is living through the unimaginable. The death of her teen daughter, Emily Renee Sali.
So I called the police and I said, hey, you guys did a welfare check on my daughter at like midnight-ish and I haven't heard anything. What's going on? What's happening? And so they did another welfare check.
Police said Emily's boyfriend killed her, then turned the gun on himself.
He took my daughter. He took the mother away from my granddaughter. Like, she's never gonna be able to know how wonderful she was and how much she loved her.
A volcano erupted this week in southwestern Iceland, sending lava, smoke, and ash into the sky. There are no reported injuries from the Sudnukar eruption, but man-made barriers are being used to divert lava away from man-made structures. It's just another challenge for the North Atlantic island nation, which has seen more than its fair share of volcanic eruptions in recent years. What is she doing? This pet turtle in the UK seems to have a bone to pick with its human's ankle. And the family's dog isn't helping matters.
Okay.
A police captain turns the tables on a phone scammer. The guy on the line tells Captain Ann Stevens she's going to be arrested for drug trafficking.
I'm going to be charged with drug trafficking?
Absolutely.
The scammer has no idea he's speaking to a real police captain as he demands to know her social security number.
I'm not going to confirm my social security number with you.
The caller also wants her home address.
No, I'm not going to give you my address. If you have my file on me, you should know what my address is.
The captain can't help but chuckle as he warns she'd better cooperate.
Okay, so a sheriff's deputy is going to come here and arrest me?
Absolutely.
We had to keep them on the line so people could see the kind of things they'll do to try to scare you.
She says if you get one of these calls, hang up. She also has this advice if you end up talking with a scammer on the other end.
Never give out their date of birth, their social security number, bank account information.
Poor puppy. This little guy somehow got stuck between 2 narrow walls in northwestern Mexico and was desperately in need of being rescued. Someone nearby working in a factory heard the puppy crying and then took it upon himself to get the little dog out of the jam. So he grabbed a blue microfiber cloth and placed it on top of the dog to protect it. Then he started chiseling away at the wall using a hammer, breaking pieces of cement off to make room for the pup to squeeze through. Eventually, the man freed the dog and hopes someone will adopt him.
This puppy is learning one of the rules of Tug of War the hard way. When you want to take a stick away from another dog, it's best to stick to a dog your own size.
It's a life or death crisis. Good Samaritans are giving chest compressions to a cyclist who's collapsed in the intense Arizona heat. This is definitely not what you normally think is the ideal time to break into song.
Come on, Mark. You can hang in there, buddy.
It's the old Bee Gees hit Stayin' Alive from the movie Saturday Night Fever. First responders say it has the perfect beat to follow when giving chest compressions.
Come on, Mark. You can hang in there, buddy.
One rescuer keeping the Bee Gees beat turned out to actually be a nurse.
That kind of is a reminder for us when we're doing CPR to get the rhythm and the motion correctly.
So, did the stricken victim make it? He sure did. Mark Beeran says he'd suffered one previous heart attack.
So Desert Lee has a very important place in my heart.
Come on, Mark. You can hang in there, buddy.
This couple's gone scuba diving, and he's got something on his mind. Is that an engagement ring? Don't drop it. The ring's on her finger, but will she accept? Looks like that's a yes, sealed with a kiss.
What is Inside Edition? It's this. And this. And this. And also this. It's sometimes this. It's never this. But it always brings you more to the story. And now it's always available. Inside Edition.